Hello, my name is Attorney Ramsey Bahrawy, and welcome to Your Money, Your Life, a show dedicated to educating you, our viewers, on the importance of planning. In this three-segment program called The Perfect Storm, I will discuss the unique challenges baby boomers face as their parents age. In the movie The Perfect Storm, three weather systems collide to form a massive storm off the eastern seaboard. Baby boomers face their own perfect storm in the form of three challenges involving their aging parents. These three challenges are: first, transportation, care, and housing; second, management of assets; and third, estate planning. While any one of these events can precipitate a crisis of adjustment, the collision of all three, as happens all too often, can result in a perfect storm which may wreak havoc in family relationships. Moreover, boomers' attempts to assist their aging parents by effectively responding to and addressing these challenges are often influenced by family dynamics. Therefore, it's important for boomers to recognize that no one knows what the future will bring. No one has a crystal ball. In other words, tomorrow is not promised to you. By the same token, no one wakes up one morning thinking, gee, today I need to talk to mom and dad about their need for housing, care, and estate planning. Without the proper planning, a family can lose a significant portion of the estate to long-term nursing home expenses during the final years of a parent's life. Also, a family may have to get a court order to have a parent declared incompetent and get permission to manage his or her affairs. This can be an expensive process. Additionally, caring for an elder parent can result in increased stress and altered lifestyles. Good planning is worth every effort made and every dime spent, not just in terms of the money and the time saved, but also the peace of mind it provides to both the parents and their children. It is becoming clear that boomers need to help their parents to assure that the appropriate planning is accomplished. Raising and discussing subjects such as driving, estate planning, assisted living, and future long-term care isn't easy. However, whether you are ready or not, the day likely will come when issues such as driving, in-home care, estate planning, assisted living, or even long-term care of some sort needs to be considered. This is especially true since people are living longer today. As our population ages, the costs, both financial and social, of long-term care will rise rapidly. The only proper way to handle this is through preparation and planning. Unfortunately, age-related disability planning is complicated largely because important decisions are based on unknown factors, namely how long you'll live and how healthy you'll be. Preparation starts by considering the available elder care and housing options. Thinking about future housing arrangements can be a stressful topic for everyone involved. However, the earlier one assesses future housing needs and how those needs may evolve over time, the more choices and control one will have. So let's discuss some of these housing options. First, your parents can spend their golden years living in their home. With their children grown up, perhaps they've downsized to a smaller home or condominium in order to live a more comfortable life while maintaining and/or improving their quality of life. Aging in place is for people who want to ensure their quality of life without being a burden to their family or community. Most older adults prefer to stay at home as they age. It has the advantage of being in a familiar place, a place where they know their neighbors and the community. Also, there's a wide range of home care services that can help an older adult maintain independence within the comfort of a home. However, staying at home requires a close network of nearby family, friends, and neighbors. It also requires easily accessible transportation, assistance with yard maintenance, and home modification. On the other hand, an older adult who has limited mobility will find aging in place a less effective senior housing option. An older adult who is unable to leave home frequently and socialize with others can become isolated, lonely, and distressed. We're all social animals by nature. We need social contacts. As we age, our bodies and capabilities change. Here are 7 examples. First, we experience reduced vision. Second, decreased muscle strength or endurance. Third, reduced mental processing capabilities. Fourth, increased risk of falls due to balance. Fifth, increased risk of illness. Sixth, reduced hearing. And seventh, decreased mobility. So even if one elects to age in place today, it's important to have a plan for the future when your needs may change and staying at home may no longer be the best option. Another option is moving into a child's house. Let's consider the details. An older adult can be offered an extra room, or an addition can be built to the home, or an in-law apartment constructed in the home. If an older adult is going to move in with an adult child, it will be necessary to make modifications to the home. A home modification adapts a living space so that an occupant can live safely and independently while managing physical limitations and therefore better performing tasks. Before engaging in any home modification, ask the older adults how they use their space. The idea behind a home modification is to increase functionality while improving safety and comfort. Your focus should be on 4 factors. First, increasing and improving the older adult's self-sufficiency. Second, safety. Third, mobility. And last but not least, security. For example, grab bars, bath steps, shower seats, modified toilet seats, and a towel rack within comfortable reach. Depending on the age of the home, the kitchen cabinets, stairs, and narrow doorways will require modification, as these areas may now pose a hazard to an older adult. Also consider if cabinets are easy to open. Are countertops at a comfortable level? Are the stove and other appliance controls easy to see and manipulate? Can the faucets be easily reached and turned on? Do room thresholds hamper mobility, especially in the case of a walker? Is there sufficient interior and exterior light? Remember that maintaining good residential lighting conditions is an important but frequently neglected aspect of an older adult's life. This may directly or indirectly influence important health and well-being parameters. Studies show that elderly people are affected by light due to visual changes such as the yellowing of the lens, decreased flexibility of pupillary adjustment, and ophthalmic diseases such as cataracts and glaucoma. Also, as one ages, changes in circadian rhythm occur. Now that you understand the degree to which a home must be modified, it is also important that older adults be included and involved in that process. By being involved in the decision-making process, the older adult is recognizing and accepting the need for home modification. Moreover, this involvement enhances the older adult's sense of independence. The exception, of course, would be someone suffering from dementia who's unable to meaningfully participate in such decision-making. When planned and carried out properly, home modification can meet the particular needs of older occupants so that they can continue to perform the tasks necessary to caring for themselves and safely navigating the home. Is having an older adult move into your home the best solution? To answer that question, one needs to consider the interests of everyone involved. Who will be the caretaker? Will the elder parent feel comfortable living in your house, or will the elder parent express fear of becoming a burden? To what extent will your family's life be disrupted? For example, will the elder parent interfere in your marriage and/or parenting or family leisure activities? Will the caretaker need to cut back on work hours in order to provide daily care and maneuver the worlds of medicine, law, hospital care, transportation, guilt, fear, and family ties? In other words, consider the financial and emotional implications of having a parent move into your home. Also consider that today, by and large, both spouses work. Can the family afford to lose a salary? If not, can a senior safely be left at home? How much time can a caregiver devote to caring for a senior parent? Don't forget that being a caretaker can be extremely stressful, especially for someone with early onset dementia. If your elder parent is moving in with you, consider the services offered by adult daycare, visiting nurses, or non-medical in-home care agencies. As regards adult daycare, it is normally used to relieve the caregiver of his or her duties for the day while ensuring that the care recipient will still receive the appropriate care in a safe and friendly environment. As regards medical or non-medical home care services, give serious thought to having these professionals come to the home frequently. Such programs may not only ease the demands put on caregivers, but also provide both the elder parent and the caregiver with peace of mind. It should therefore come as no surprise that a caregiver for an older adult needs on occasion to be relieved of his or her responsibilities. He or she may develop anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. Also consider what you intend to do when Dad has several fender benders, is showing signs of forgetfulness that point to cognitive issues, but insists that he's okay to drive. There is no one-size-fits-all solution to this problem. The main issue is personal freedom and independence. However, diminishing reflexes, changes in eyesight, and cognitive and memory loss issues can cause Dad to become a real safety threat while driving. The decision to deny Dad access to his car and ask that the driver's license be revoked is accompanied by a set of challenges and emotions. First, the common emotion is the sense of guilt that comes from impacting Dad's freedom and independence. Your parent feels that you're trying to control his life. Second, the challenge you face is making sure a sensible plan is put in place to get Mom or Dad to the doctor, the senior center, the grocery store, the pharmacy, church, hairdresser, friends, bingo, or some other form of entertainment. If you don't have such a plan, then Mom or Dad will feel isolated from friends and activities and become both depressed and very angry at you. The best advice I can give is don't try to bully or argue your way to a rational conclusion by telling your parents they're unsafe drivers. That's a lose-lose situation and places you into a serious conflict as a son or daughter. Are there ways to deal with Mom or Dad's unsafe driving without you becoming the enemy? Quite frankly, the only way to arrive at a solution is through family unity and common understanding. In other words, family members need to be on the same page. If you and your siblings are not on the same page, Mom or Dad may try to divide and conquer by creating an us versus them situation. Once you and your siblings are in agreement, call the parent's primary care physician. Discuss your concerns and enlist his aid. In some cases, a physician can intercede by talking with your parent. In some states, a physician can send a letter to the Registry of Motor Vehicles or the local police department voicing safety concerns. Remember that if you decide to be a caregiver, you will likely face recurring family issues. These issues include home remodeling, balancing your work responsibilities with your family and caregiving responsibilities, balancing family responsibilities to a spouse and children with caregiving for aging parents. The issues of transportation, independence, and age-related dependency will require fine-tuning. The bottom line is all of these issues will need to be dealt with in a way that empowers both those aging in place and their caregivers. As an aside, if your elder parent becomes dependent, you may be entitled to a dependency exemption. However, consult with an accountant before you take this exemption. If you intend to be a caregiver, make preparations for that eventuality sooner rather than later. If you're unsure, carefully consider the options and make sure you make the right choices. Now let's talk about some of the other housing options. First, let's consider independent living. Like in-home care, independent living provides for the highest form of independence. These types of facilities offer services and amenities such as dining services, limited nursing services, shopping and transportation services, gym, swimming pool, entertainment, and so forth and so on. Independent living facilities appeal to people who are interested in concepts such as lifestyle, safety, and peace of mind. However, these facilities tend to be expensive. They require that you buy into the facility. In addition, the resident is required to pay a monthly fee. This fee usually depends on the size of the unit and in some cases the level of service for which one contracts. Another option is assisted living. Improved medical care combined with better nutrition and a more active lifestyle tends to result in longer and healthier lives. While it is encouraging to live a longer life, with an extended life, independent day-to-day living becomes increasingly more difficult, and therefore assistance with activities of daily living becomes more necessary. An assisted living facility provides for a combination of independence and assistance with activities of daily living. The level of care required can change as needed. Assisted living facilities primarily appeal to an older adult's concern for safety, peace of mind, and value. When considering an assisted living facility, ask, what are my loved one's needs and concerns? How does assisted living meet those needs and concerns? How will my loved one benefit from assisted living? Does an assisted living facility provide a social outlet? What are the implications to an older adult of continuing to live at home alone? Assisted living is a viable option when a parent expresses anxiety about housekeeping chores, performing everyday tasks like driving, cooking, and bathing. If assisted living is a viable option, how do you know when you have found a facility you can trust to properly take care of mom and dad? And how can you tell if they will be happy there? Here are some hints. How far away is the facility? Your parents will want frequent visits. They will expect to be picked up for holidays and family events. Also, how close is the facility to other relatives, doctors, friends, and shopping? How much is the cost and what does it cover? This is a question you can't afford not to ask. Read the fine print. Look for hidden fees and services that aren't covered. Costs and payment options vary widely between assisted living facilities, so don't be afraid to ask questions before you consider signing a contract. What is the staff like? What kind of assistance do they offer to residents? Are the staff licensed and certified? Do they seem friendly and knowledgeable? What is the ratio of staff to residents? Try asking other residents if the staff are responsive and how well do they like the staff. This information often is your best gauge to determining if your loved one will enjoy living in this assisted living facility. Is the food good? Visit the dining room during a meal. Ask to see the menu for the week. Does the food look and smell appetizing? Are the portions not too big and not too small? Ask the residents how well they like the food. Some facilities will invite you for lunch or dinner before a contract is signed so you can experience their food. Are there adequate activities? Do you see a list of activities posted? Are the residents engaged in crafts, games, or group discussions? Or do they just seem to be sitting around? What kind of activities are available for residents who are confined to their rooms? What are the visiting hours? Do they accommodate your schedule and the schedules of your loved ones, friends, and relatives? What if schedules change? Generally, facilities that allow visiting hours 7 days a week for several hours of the day make for the happiest living situation. What kind of amenities are offered? Does the facility offer exercise classes and recreational classes? Is there a wellness office? Make sure to find out if these amenities are covered, and if not, what are the additional fees? What is the facility's history of violations? Mistakes and complaints happen, but you want to know that the facility you are visiting hasn't made any egregious errors. Ask to see the facility's licensing and violations record. How are complaints handled? With whom would you be communicating in the event of questions and concerns? Would you be speaking to a front desk employee, or would you be able to directly contact the facility's director? If the facility views communication as a priority, you will likely have a good experience. After visiting the facility and having your questions answered, ask yourself, would you live there? In other words, would you feel happy and adequately cared for in this particular facility? If not, it's probably not the right choice for your loved one. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts defines an assisted living facility as one that provides room, board, and assistance with activities of daily living in exchange for payment for 3 or more adults. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts has certain requirements regarding assisted living facilities. For example, they must provide a certain scope of care. In this regard, they are required to provide a minimum of 1 meal per day, timely help in case of need, supervision and assistance as needed for activities of daily living, and medication management as needed. Home health care agencies may provide additional services as contracted by the resident. By law, all residents must go through an intake assessment to determine the level of personal care needs, medication management needs, current medications, dietary preferences, allergies, and psychosocial issues. Residents must be given a full disclosure of all written policies regarding payment, lists of activities, explanation of safety features, and more upon arrival. Massachusetts requires that the assisted living facility create a care plan for all residents at the time of initial intake assessment. As regards medication management, a nurse at the assisted living facility is permitted to give medication as long as it is not injected. An assisted living facility must meet all safety codes and provide 1 bathing facility for every 3 residents, and a half bathroom for every unit for facilities constructed after 1995. A locking door and a kitchenette or access to kitchen facilities is also required. As regards Massachusetts staffing requirements, an assisted living facility must require orientation and continuing education for all staff. Direct care staff must consist of licensed nurses, certified nursing assistants, certified home health aides, and qualified personal care homemakers, or they must have completed a specialized training course. A manager must be 21, hold a bachelor's degree in a related field, and have the ability to operate the facility effectively. A staff person must be on the premises 24 hours a day. Lastly, if a facility wishes to have a special unit certified as a special care residence for those with dementia or Alzheimer's disease, additional regulations are in effect regarding training, policies, and procedures. It is important to recognize that health insurance does not cover assisted living. Also, most Massachusetts facilities accept only private pay residents. However, most long-term care insurance policies do cover assisted living once the elimination period has been satisfied. Often, long-term care insurance policies pay a defined monthly benefit with a cap. In other words, the policy rarely pays for the entire cost of assisted living. Also, the VA Aid and Attendance Veterans Benefit can serve as a lifeline to qualifying veterans and their spouses in paying for assisted living. In this regard, veterans benefits can play a crucial role in a veterans estate plan. I believe that veterans benefits represent an important piece in the estate planning puzzle. According to assistedlivingfacilities.org, the average Massachusetts cost for non-dementia patients is $4,000 per month. The legal relationship between the assisted living facility and the resident is a landlord-tenant relationship. Then, of course, there are nursing home services. Nursing homes are homes for people who need skilled nursing care. Nursing homes offer both long-term and short-term care. As a person ages, it's not unusual for physical abilities to begin to fail and the need for long-term care services to become increasingly greater. Long-term care nursing services may be necessary when a person no longer can live independently because of physical, emotional, or mental problems. Long-term care is defined as the services provided to someone who is suffering from a chronic condition. The highest level of nursing care comes from a nursing home, ergo the name. Nursing homes provide shelter, meals, social activities, and assistance with activities of daily living. They also provide 24-hour skilled nursing care and rehabilitative services. Some nursing homes have special sections for people with specific conditions such as Alzheimer's disease. All nursing homes are licensed by the Department of Public Health. A nursing home differs from an assisted living facility in that it offers comprehensive medical care. As such, nursing home care is more expensive than home care and assisted living. According to massresources.org, the average cost of nursing home care nationwide is about $75,000 per year for a semi-private room. Massachusetts nursing home costs are quite a bit above the national average. Nursing home care for a dementia patient is even more expensive. Cost, however, varies depending on location, size of room, and type of room. The cost varies not only from facility to facility, but also state by state. So let's consider what payment resources are available to pay for nursing home care. Health insurance will not pay for a long-term stay in a nursing home. Medicare pays for hospitalization and may pay for some period of rehabilitation after a 3-day hospital stay. Medicare will pay for the first 20 days of skilled nursing care and will likely cover an additional 80 days. Thereafter, you are on your own and become a self-pay patient unless you are fortunate enough to have a private long-term care policy or you qualify for Medicaid. In Massachusetts, Medicaid is called Mass Health. As regards Medicaid, it is a public insurance program for the poor irrespective of age. It has a stringent set of income and asset guidelines. It is the only public program that, under current regulations, will pay for long-term care services. In a perfect world, healthcare costs would not be a factor. Our parents would receive only the best quality care when needed. In reality, however, cost and time needed to care for someone should be carefully considered. With some thought, one can develop a plan that can make these concerns less worrisome. In closing, as aging parents develop serious age-related illnesses, it is not unusual for a family to find itself suffering from despair and anxiety. Therefore, remember that the trick is to live for today and be prepared for tomorrow. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, the future depends on what we do today. That completes the first segment of this show. Please join me for the next segment on estate planning and aging parents.